Before I start this theory, I suggest you go back and watch my theory on Bubba. If you haven't, this theory won't make any sense whatsoever. If you know anything about Bubba, you know that he works for Uncle Boz. But do you know what he did before his career with Uncle Boz? No, you probably don't. But this theory will try to explain what he did before. I'll start with a little timeline from what we know. 1. A little bit before the events of Garden Warfare, Bubba starts to work with Uncle Boz as a product tester. 2. Around this time, they move to Jewel Junction and start making products. 3. They make Jewel Junction to a port for Dr. Zomboss. And this is where we are right now on the timeline. If you watch my theory on Bubba, you also know he is a variant of the Gravedigger. If he is a variant of the Gravedigger, then he must be a Gravedigger too, right? Well, yes, he was a Gravedigger. That would explain the shovel and the gravestone on his back. But that begs the question, why isn't he still a Gravedigger? Well, this brings me to my next point, the flowers. You may be wondering what I mean by flowers. Well, the Gravedigger and his variants all have a flower. The Gravedigger has one on his hat, the brown coat variant has one on his shirt, the Baron von Batz variant also has one on his shirt, the garbage variant has one on his hat, and the fancy variant has one also on his shirt. They all have one except Bubba. Now what could this mean? I might have the answer to that. Bubba used to have a flower, but after he left being a Gravedigger behind to work for Uncle Boz, they took the flower away from him. He did, however, get to keep his shovel and the gravestone. Now that we know this, let's add the new information to the timeline. Bubba is a Gravedigger. He leaves, losing his flower. Before the events of Garden Warfare, he starts to work for Uncle Boz. They move to Jewel Junction and start making products. And lastly, they turn Jewel Junction into a port for Dr. Zomboss. And this is where we are now.